Rob Clayton, second week in a row. Swimmers in the pool. Had to feel good to just continue in that way, right?
Yeah, Brian. Good to see you again. And yes, it was good to race again. And it was good to learn from last week, to do things better, to make improvements. And we really had a lot of great swims over the weekend. A lot of guys faster than they were a week before. And some guys who just continued to swim well. Leading that charge, Corey Shepard, over an 8-day period, he did basically his conference time from a year ago half a dozen times over an 8-day period. So just swimming incredibly in all his events, 50, 100, 200. He was outstanding. Eric Orr, Adam Grimm. Tori Bartlett had a great 200 breaststroke. Our flyers, Andrew Limpert really showing, getting back to form where he was a year ago. And Chris Lindley, freshman, coming out and winning the 1,000 on Saturday was really a super swim. We had backstrokers on Friday leading off our medley relay. All three relays, A, B, and C relay, our backstrokers did their lifetime best. It just doesn't happen in January. We're wearing fast suits, which obviously helps that. But the guys are really swimming well.
Yeah. Just to step back for a moment, because of COVID and all these things that are happening, and your team, I don't know, knock on wood, whatever you want to say, is doing very well. It has to feel. Do you feel like does your team feel a sense of, yes, we can still do this despite what's going on in the world?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever given up hope. There have been certainly times when we've been discouraged, frustrated, and even this week, last week's conference swimmer of the week wasn't in the lineup on this weekend, and that was hard. That was frustrating. But the guys bounced back and really did a tremendous job of stepping up. And so we know everything's tenuous. I mean, we all were tested this morning for COVID, and we a day and a half later, we're waiting to hear results and waiting to hear that everyone's clear and we can keep training and all that. So we know that, and it's not like we're unique. Everybody's in that boat and living with that. And so I think we know it's tenuous, and we appreciate every chance we get to compete. So now we've gotten 4 meets in January. That was huge, just to be able to compete, to be able to race, to be able to do the things that we love to do. Believe it or not, the guys don't love practice day after day after day after day when they're just working hard and getting tired, and that's hard. And it's hard when that's all you do for a long period of time. And so we're grateful to race.
It was a great moment over the weekend, too. You were also able to hand out championship rings from last year's Black Championship.
Yeah, kind of all fall, every once in a while, the guys would say, are we ever going to get those championship rings? And so, yes, they finally came in. It was a really great way to celebrate last year. With Director Pine handing those out. We had, the dean and the comm were in the stands. We had unfortunately, we couldn't have parents. We couldn't have, a lot of normal things. But it was a great moment, and it was good to relive that just a bit. And I think everyone's thrilled with the rings, too.
Yeah, for sure. Now you get a couple of weeks to, what do they call it, taper before the sprint championships?
Not yet.
Okay.
No taper yet. Don't let the guys hear the T word.
My bad. I'm trying to throw a swimming word out there.
Yeah, I
blew
appreciate
Sorry,
it. But no, we're not tapering yet. We've got work to do. And we have, it's kind of a final push in terms of just real quality work. And we've got guys going in and out of Q&I. We've got to get them back up and moving again. And, so there's more work to be done. And then we'll start, after the championship meet, we will start peaking. We've added a meet between the sprint championships and the WAC championships. That's another meet. It's going to be local college swimmers from Wyoming, from Denver, from perhaps some smaller schools that will be swimming up at DU just 2 weeks after the sprint meet. So we've got a couple more meets that we've put on the schedule, and so we're getting ready for those. But mainly we're aiming for that conference championship.
And final question this week: you took on a conference foe in Wyoming, and also BYU, a strong program. Do you feel like you're in the right place as you approach the championships?
Yeah, we are doing well. Like I said, a lot of fast swimming. There were some things I think we learned from swimming 2 days in a row, and especially with very short rest. A week ago we swam 2 days in a row, but our Saturday start was at noon. This week our Saturday start was at 9. So guys had to get up right away and get to racing. And I think we learned some things there. We learned a lot of good things we did in terms of recovery and rebound and getting ready for that next race. And then perhaps we learned some things that we need to do better. So it was great. It was good to have BYU here and Wyoming, of course. Wyoming is they've been troopers. They've come down several times to swim us as we've figured out a way to do it here at the Air Force Academy with COVID. And so it was good to race a conference foe, someone who's been, our biggest rival, for decades, really. And so it's good to race them both days, and then good to renew a rivalry with BYU.
Yeah. Ralph Clayton, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Brian.